it's Bruce again with Lake Leaders Digest, with a Lake and Pond Help Desk. And what this video is designed to serve is what you might find on another website as the History of the Company tab or the About Us tab. That's what we're trying to do today, is just do it in a video format. And let me tell you a little bit about Lake Leaders Digest. We are a solutions-based company helping people with weeds, muck, or algae. And by our customers, we're dealing with people that live on lakes, ponds, municipalities, homeowners associations. We deal with a variety of different companies and different types of people throughout, actually around the world. And we offer solutions based on using mechanical tools as our main focus. But we also have some what might be natural type of chemicals, alternatives to herbicides, and a lot of tools, tips, and techniques. Now, the one thing I can tell you is that a lot of people think that we might be just an internet-based company. And they kind of base that on the fact that we kind of dominate the internet in some of these keyword phrases. But in the actuality, we do have a brick and mortar store based in the Twin Cities, the western suburbs. And, ultimately, more than just a company, this really is more my passion. It's about dealing with people that live on lakes and ponds. It's what I like to do. As a matter of fact, when I started this company years back, it was really just an idea more about fun. And I had no idea. In fact, when it became my full-time business, I kind of felt like I almost retired. And this is really what I enjoy doing. Now, the one thing I can tell you is that even though it's more of just it started out as a hobby, I can tell you that today there's nobody, and I believe that's a bold statement, but I believe it to be the truth, that nobody knows more about how to practically manage your lake or your pond as a homeowner or as an association than we do at Lake Leaders Digest. Now, that's a bold statement again. There's many people that know much more from a scientific standpoint. There's many people that know more from a governmental agency, and certainly from a biological standpoint or a science standpoint. But when it comes to actual practical knowledge of how to solve these using these type of tools, I honestly believe that we know more than anybody out there. Now, that's, again, from being in Minnesota, does that go beyond? But I really do believe that that is the case. We have had very high-profile opportunities to help people around the world. Again, shipping in the last week to Africa, Australia, England, the UK. We're dealing with people all around the world, and I don't think that anybody is coming up with these type of solutions. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how we came up with the Leaders Digest as that it came to be. I am sitting here on my own property, and it's a property that I think is, to me personally, one of the most gorgeous properties that I've had the opportunity to work on. And it's 750 feet of shoreline. We're located only 7 miles from the heart of downtown. And on that 750 feet, it's kind of like a peninsula base. And to one side, we've got more of kind of a pond setting. And then out to the other side, we've really got what is more of a lake setting. And so I've got about 100 feet of cattails. I've got lily pads that you can see back there. Over here, we've got a rip-rap shoreline. We've got a sandy shoreline, and then another place that's completely natural. And throughout that whole area is filled with, when we moved here, it was filled with challenges. I didn't realize when I moved here that there was so many challenges, and until my family had our first chance swimming. And some of you may have already experienced something similar to this, but my daughters that were in their young teenage years, the first response was, "We're not swimming here, Dad." And to me, it was the dream, it was the goal. It was truly the dream to be able to live on a lake. And their response was, "This isn't like Grandpa's cabin up north where I grew up, and we've had a cabin there now for well over 40 years. There's no weeds there, there's no muck, there's no algae." And so my kids kind of shattered my dreams of living on the lake and enjoying it as a recreational property. And so that is where I started doing a lot of work, a lot of testing, a lot of trying to solve issues. And maybe you've heard this before, but a lot of people, when I went around and asked, how am I going to solve this? And I asked people that lived on my lake, I asked people that lived on other lakes, and said, how do you solve this? And most people said, get over it, you just deal with it. That's the way it is. Well, I had a choice at that point in time that I could either move off the lake or force my kids into swimming out there. You know how that would go, and or really solve it. And so I went into it, and I went into it very seriously, trying to make sure that I could solve it. And so I did. I did, and that's where we're at today. Now, as a result, we have a shoreline that is, I think, fully controlled. Again, not all that 750 feet of shoreline is weed-free. Our Minnesota State DNR wouldn't allow me to do that, but in the area where we use and where we swim, it is phenomenal. Our lake itself, when we first moved here, had between, probably on a good day, we might have had 3 feet of clarity. Sometimes we only had a foot of clarity. Today, we have probably on average, we have between 5 and 8 feet of clarity. Actually, I shouldn't say that. This year, we've averaged 8 feet of clarity all year. Last year, we had as much as 14 feet of clarity, but that's not always a good thing either when you've got as many weeds. We have a heavily infested lake with milfoil, with curly leaf, and this year, as a result of some really hard work of the association that I'm a part of and a board member on, we eliminated the milfoil. We have eliminated the curly leaf. We'll see if that's true of next year. We've done everything within the DNR permits that we've been granted. Speaking of granted, we've been granted money to be able to do those type of things. Our lake is dramatically improving, and I can tell you that on nearly every lake that I talk to, lakes are getting worse. Water quality, water clarity, aquatic vegetation, it's all getting worse. I can tell you that on our lake, since I've lived here, it has improved every year. Certainly for the last 5 years, it has improved every year. Fishing's gotten better, recreation has gotten better, less weeds, less muck, less algae. And on my shoreline, there's no weeds, there's no muck, and there's no algae in those areas. We've done that with hard work, we've done that with a great association, and that's part of what I believe that we can provide is opportunities to help you, to help your association, and really improve your let's say your water quality, but I believe that if you were able to improve your water quality, improve your swimming area, if that's your goal, that you would be able to also improve your quality of life. Because if you're like me, and most of you are, your passion is around that pond or that lake, or recreating on it, or just looking at it. Because I can tell you that a number of years ago, looking out here, this was an embarrassing, it was embarrassing to have company over. It was embarrassing to be able to try to go out there and recreate when you couldn't even get the boat through. It was embarrassing when people would jump off the dock and freak out about the muck. But I can tell you today, that's not the case. And we've done it, and we can help you do it at your place as well. So if you live on a lake or a pond, if you've been told that there's no way to solve these problems, then stick with us, the Weeder's Digest. We'll get you through. Got some solutions, mechanical, got some tools, tips, tricks. You don't have to be frustrated. It'll take some time, it'll take some effort, but based on my own solutions that I've experienced here of living on this lake, what we've done, what we've managed, how we've managed it, environmentally friendly, within the governmental regulations, I'm sure you can accomplish the same too. Again, I'm Bruce. I'm the chief weed guy at LakeWeedersDigest.com. Check us out on the web, WeedersDigest.com. Shoot us an email or give us a call. Thank you.